Ladies and gentlemen, we are in Kigali, Rwanda, where we are hosting the Agriculture Green Revolution Forum, AGRF 2018. The theme is Lead, Measure, Grow. I'm excited today because we have with us Dr. Shenggen Fan. Dr. Shenggen Fan, welcome.
Thank you, Nindewi.
Tell us more, what is IFPRI? What do you do?
Well, International Food Policy Research Institute, so it's a policy center, economic center, and the center focuses on also institutional reforms changes among all 15 CGI centers. And so some sort of distinguished features of IFPRI. The one is IFPRI is a very decentralized organization, although the headquarters is in Washington, but we have country programs, regional offices in Africa, in Asia. So more than half our staff, probably 70–80% of our budget is spent for the countries, for the region.
Now with all that support from IFPRI, everybody talks about the elephant in the room being policy. How exactly are you closing the gap? What policies do you work on?
Well, there's a saying that you can always eat rice, maize, corn, wheat, potato, fish, animals, but you cannot eat policy, right? However, without policy, you will not be able to eat at all.
Mm-hmm.
So
how does that happen?
My view is at global level, we don't have a food security issue. We have a policy issue. We have a failed policy issue. So, and we have a huge gap in policy. So for example, here in Africa, the capacity of making policy based on data, based on information, based on evidence is absolutely lacking.
You are a research institute, and one of the challenges that we face is converting that research evidence into policy, and you've clearly said you provide options. How do you make sure that those options are within the cocktail that the politician will choose from? How do you accompany your research into action?
The key here is partnership. Partnership with the national researchers, national stakeholders. So when the national stakeholders embrace certain policy options, they will work through the system, governance, political system, to make positive policy changes.
So what sort of partners do you bring around the table?
Well, the partnership, well, we are doing research, but the national partners is doing that's a more applied,
national
more practical
research partner.
Yes, and a communication outreach. Okay. Now, I also wanted to mention the regional partners, including AGRA. AGRA, let's say the African Union, NAPAD, COMESA, and ECOWAS. So we work with them very closely. So we bring other countries' experience. Yep. We bring the methodology. We train them, work together as partners. To me, this is the most effective way.
Now, as IFPRI, this is AGRF 2018. The theme is Lead, Measure, Grow. How does it resonate with the core business of IFPRI?
Well, very much related to our core business. But the AGRF really promote a platform, a forum, for all the stakeholders to come together to discuss some of the challenges, to discuss some of the solutions, not just challenges, solutions. Here, what I really like is one word, accountability. Mm-hmm. Make sure that everybody is accountable. Let's say the Prime Minister, the President, they must be accountable to the outcome of nutrition, health, food, and nutrition security of their citizen. How can we do that? So recently, there have been some discussions on this so-called agriculture transformation scorecard or biennial review mechanisms. This is the mechanism to make sure that our politicians, our leaders are accountable. To do that, you need good data, reliable data, timely data, and the capacity to analyze it. So the partnership, again, partnership with AGRA, with African Union, with our national stakeholders will be very critical.
Tell us about the big report that you launched in this forum.
Well, the trade report. Yes. So here in Africa, as already mentioned, great potential to promote more trade. Yeah, the continent still imports $35 billion of food. On the other hand, great land, it's natural resources. So trade is key. Intra-regional trade is even more important. If you look at the global history or global landscape, you will see in Europe, 80% of the trade is intra-regional trade among different countries in Europe.
Within the same region?
Yes. Asia, 60%. Here in Africa, the latest figure I have is 20%.
So we don't like each other
you
as
only
Africans.
trade with your neighbors, 20%. 80% you trade with Europeans, with Asians, or with Latin Americans. So this is not acceptable.
So what is going wrong?
Okay, with the trade
how
report.
do we fix that?
Okay, so read the trade report. So we launched this trade report, agriculture trade report, first time, based on data, based on evidence, to track the trends and to use evidence to see how can we further promote the trade. Now you ask, okay, how? One is the infrastructure. We do not have infrastructure to connect the countries. Yeah. Okay. Second, restrictions or tariffs, formal and informal. You know, if you try to trade something between Nigeria, let's say, and Niger, you have to go through not just the official custom, but also
formal and
many
informal.
Other informal barriers.
And tax.
Yes. They will tax you.
Yeah.
6 times sometimes, I heard. So you got to
It's tax and rent sinking.
That's right. And then obviously third is information, data. So okay, so I know what you have and you know what I have. And then we can trade. Yeah. So then both of us will have what do we produce. So information, data is so critical. So this trade report is the first one, and I hope it will be produced and launched every year, annually.
We look forward to seeing those reports. I'm just keen. I've come to associate IFPRI with Shenggen Fan. What would you want your legacy to be?
The objective of working at IFPRI for me is not to leave any legacy. I think it's for IFPRI to build its capacity, its a brand for our staff, for our partners, to work together, to really do something real, something on the ground, to make a difference.
Excellent.
So, no legacy.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Shenggen Fan, Director General of IFPRI. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.